You're welcome to the Forex Trading and Lifestyle Entrepreneurship channel. Do take a minute to pause this video and read this disclaimer.
Hi there, it's Victor here from foreshowmarkets.com. In today's video, we'll be looking at what are ascending and descending wedges in technical analysis. Okay, so ascending wedge is also known as a rising wedge, while descending wedge is also known as a falling wedge. All right, so in technical analysis, where you find the rising wedge, this chart this chart doesn't really show what is happening before the rising wedge formed. Okay, so take note, we are looking at rising wedge now. The rising wedge always forms after a downtrend. Okay, a rising wedge forms after a downtrend. So you have something like this after a downtrend coming down like this, right? You now see stuff like this, which is a correction. Okay, so a rising wedge forms something like this. So this is your wedge, and as you can see, it is rising, and so that is why it is called a rising wedge. Okay, but that rising wedge usually happens after a downtrend. Okay, after a downtrend, and of course this never gets back up to the top here. Okay, because if it gets to the top, it's no more a rising wedge, it's a reversal. Okay, so a rising wedge is a continuation pattern. Okay, continuation pattern meaning that after a fall, it will have a small pullback, but that pullback happens in the form of this rising wedge, and then we are expecting the rising wedge, if it follows all the principles of technical analysis and the rising wedge, we're expecting that to break down and continue. Okay, so a rising wedge pattern is a continuation pattern. I think I'll do that in the next video, difference between a reversal pattern and a continuation pattern, so you don't mix it up. Okay, so this is how your rising wedge happens. Your rising wedge will always happen after a downtrend. Okay, so what the rising wedge is telling you is that this trend is likely to continue if price breaks below this below the wedge here. Okay, so a way you can trade this is a trader can just mark this point, the previous support in the wedge, and sells the moment price breaks the trend line. Remember, this is a trend line going up. Price breaks that trend line coming down and breaks this support. That will be a good place to sell below that support there, and then stop loss should be above here. Then remember, this is your, from here to here, this is your entry, and then your take profit can be, let's say, 2 times. You can do take profit is equals to 2 times stop loss. Okay, so whatever your stop loss is, take profit can be 2 times of that. So let's say, let me make this a little bit. So your take profit can come from here down there. Okay, so back to this slide. Now, why I took you to the whiteboard was because here you can see, if you're just looking at this chart, that's the thing with charts. Okay, you need to be able to look at where price is coming from for you to do a proper analysis. And so what we have here is just the rising wedge just formed without even seeing what happened before the rising wedge. Okay, so as you can see here, price broke the trend line of the lower trend line of the rising wedge down, and then you can see this is the support here. I would use this support because this is the previous support. In the moment price breaks below the support, you sell. Okay, so that's the rising wedge, and the rising wedge is a continuation pattern. It always happens as a slight correction of a downtrend. Okay, so let's look at the falling wedge. The falling wedge is the exact opposite of the rising wedge. Okay, now a falling wedge happens in an uptrend. Okay, so price is going up, doing an uptrend, okay, and then this is the main trend, uptrend. Okay, so this is a falling wedge, happens after an uptrend. Okay, so smart traders, when a strong uptrend happens, most traders would like to wait for a correction or a pullback, and so one of those pullback method is the formation of the falling wedge. So you start seeing a falling wedge like this. It forms like a triangle. Okay, it forms like a triangle. Now this falling wedge is simply telling you that this is likely to be a continuation. There's likely to be a continuation of this trend. Okay, so once you see a falling wedge, so this is the falling wedge. This triangle pattern here is the falling wedge. Yes, this is the falling wedge because it's falling. Okay, but what are we expecting? We are expecting a breakout to the upside. Okay, so the moment price breaks the trend line here and breaks the previous resistance, you say you can buy at that point. Put your stop loss below the support, which is this line here. This is your support. Your stop loss should be reasonably, let's say 10 pips, 20 pips to 30 pips. It depends on the currency pair you are trading based on volatility. Okay, and then your take profit can be above there. Ideally, take profit can be equals to 2 times of your stop loss. Okay, so a falling wedge is a continuation pattern. It's telling you that this initial uptrend is likely to continue to the upside. Okay, so as you can see here, this slide didn't show us what happened before the falling wedge. Okay, but so to the left, this side is an uptrend. Okay, then the falling wedge shows, and it's usually very, very choppy, small candles, up down, and then finally it breaks up the trend. We're looking for a buy, and then once price breaks above this immediate resistance here, we'll buy. Okay, so that is a simple way to identify your ascending and descending wedge, and a simple way to trade them. You will find them all over your charts. Okay, some traders can just focus on trading this pattern alone and master it to perfection. Okay, so make sure you watch the next video. I'm going to do the difference between a continuation pattern and a reversal pattern. All right, so if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If this is your first time watching our videos, make sure you subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below this video, and then click the bell beside the subscribe button to the right, and then click all notification so that you get notified whenever we upload a new video. All right, I'll see you in the next video. You want to get in touch with me, just leave your questions, leave your comments in the description below, and I will answer to the best of my ability. If you need my contact, I would also give to you there as well. All right, have a pleasurable day. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.